Honored and blessed that I get to have my personal sponsor, my 2-star NMD. She travels all the way out here from Seattle twice a year to help grow this market for us. And I know she has a huge following here in Kansas. And so I'm really excited. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just super pumped to get her up here. So 2-star National Marketing Director, Sarah Nilsen.
It's me again. You guys are like, oh, who's coming now? Like, oh, no, sorry again. All right, so is there anybody that just came in that wasn't in the, couple of you? Okay, so most of us. All right, good. All right, we're going to go through the training. So this is for kind of how to do the how-tos, right? So the first presentation is a little bit about an overview of our business, and this is really kind of the nuts and bolts of how do we do all these things that we're talking about. Anybody in this room, this is your first regional? So it's like my personal mission to make it your favorite. So, all right, so let's get right to it. Like I said before in the market party, we really want to sell you on a vision, not so much a comp plan or the product, right? The product, works, and we'll talk a lot about that too, but we really want you to embrace our culture. If you're going to build a whole company around the word real, you got to be serious about a couple things, right? I mean, that's kind of bold, don't you think? To say we're real, we have real people, real results, our product is real, our opportunity is real, everything that Jeff always, the mantra that we keep hearing. And within that, what we're doing as a real culture is giving back, helping people. I mean, some people say that we're a self-development company disguised as a skincare company or an anti-aging company. Because really, we believe just as much in that as anything else. As a matter of fact, when you got your kit, you probably noticed there was nothing in your kit to teach you how to sell Nerium. Right? But there was a lot of self-development in there, wasn't there? A lot of tools to help you become a better person just in general. Show up in your life differently, in your relationships, with your finances, in your communities, with your team. And so that's really what Jeff believes in. Our core values aren't just window dressing. It's woven into everything we do from the top down. All of the integrity at the home office is real. And think about it. People are leaving their 5, 6, 7-figure jobs to come work for a startup company because they believe in our culture. Sigma Biotech gave us the exclusive rights to EHT because they like our culture. People are leaving their jobs at Yahoo, at Verizon, some of these tech people that were writing this 1.5 million lines of code that we just upgraded to. They're leaving those jobs to come work for Nerium because of our culture, because of our values. So that should be something that leads out through all of us and out into our communities as well. And our ripple is real too. What we do for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, what we do with Live Happy, what we do with Success for Teens, all the things that we're involved in is arrows out. It's all about helping other people. People are going to be attracted to Nerium as a result of their connection to you. The people that are in this industry that are arrows in, they're all about me, it's all about the bottom line, it's, sign me up, see you later, all of that, they don't last very long here. Because we have high standards for ourselves and for the people that we work with in this company. So what we're looking for in qualities of a brand partner, and I touched on it earlier, is a desire. It's the only thing we can't do for you. You gotta want it. We can't make you want this for yourself. We can't want it more for you than you want for yourself. And I would be willing to bet that at one point or another, everyone sitting in this room has felt that way about someone. Right? You have a brand partner who's in dire straits, maybe financially, whatever, and you want it so bad for them. But they just don't seem to want it for themselves enough to get up and show up at a regional. Or get up and get on the phone. Or get out there and get their bottles out. And it can be frustrating because we're the ones banging our head against the wall, right? We can't want it more for you than you want it for yourself. You have to have the desire. And you have to be coachable and teachable. You can't come in and know everything. You got to be willing to leave all your sales skills at the door. Sometimes for those of us who've been in sales, that's the hardest part. Because we want to sell you on the features and benefits of the day, right? But we can't. Because that's not what duplicates. And the reason why this company, one of the reasons why this company is growing so much is because we attract people who don't have any sales skills. Because they can come into our company right now today, knowing nothing, and still be successful. right? Because that's how cool our system is. That's how tight our program is. So you got to be coachable, and you have to be willing to work. I cannot tell you how many people know exactly what they want. Oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I say, great. Are you willing? No. No, I'm not. Apparently, that's what they're telling me because they're not showing up. They're not getting on the call. They're not getting their bottles out. You guys know what I'm talking about. They want what they want, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get it. So these are the things. This is all we need. Anybody can fit this description, right? This is all what you have control over. And nowhere in here does it say you have to have skill. Okay, so we're going to create a little bit of leverage. And we talked about this at the market party, but basically there's you have your time, and then you start quickly, you're able to be compensated for the combined efforts of everyone in your organization. This is really powerful. This is why Robert Kiyosaki believes in this. This is why Donald Trump says if he ever had to start over, he'd start over in direct marketing. This is why they teach this at Harvard. Because this is the model that works globally. Do you guys know that the United States is behind the times when it comes to direct marketing? In other countries, they do everything through direct marketing, relationship marketing, everything. You're buying your food, you're buying sometimes your kids, I don't know. Maybe. You're buying everything through direct marketing because people buy who from they like, know, and trust, right? In the United States, there's a little bit of a stigma. Why is that? Well, because we've had some companies that have burned people here. There's a right way and a wrong way to do just about anything, don't you agree? Like, case in point, Pinterest. I'll get on there from time to time, and I'm like, I can make those enchiladas. And by the time I pull mine out of the oven, no, looks nothing like a photo. Right? So there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything, including running a company like this. And unfortunately, in the last 50 years, there have been a few companies that have burned people, and people get a little bit gun shy. Other cultures, not as much. So what Jeff is doing and what Nerium is doing is really flipping the paradigm on what direct marketing is, you guys. We're really showing this industry that you can do something the right way and still be successful and still make money. As a matter of fact, you can be the fastest growing company ever in our industry. So that's pretty powerful, but we're still going to be fighting some of that stigma a little bit. So if you have an hour and you're going to be getting paid for 155 hours, how many of you guys would want to know more about that? Because guess what? In corporate America, if you don't show up, most of the time you're not getting paid. That's what people are used to. And it's so interesting, too, because I was reading this, watching the show, Brain Games. You guys ever watch that? It's pretty interesting. And there was a little segment on it about, they put up a booth, and it said, free money. And there was a bucket of money. And there was nobody guarding it or anything. Did you guys see this one? And everyone was like walking by it like, you know, I'm not, I'm sorry. The first one, there was somebody manning it. Free money. Like, I'm standing up here, I'm like, free money. And nobody was taking it. Because they were like, why would you be giving me free money? Like, what's going on here? It's a trick. Is this, right? And then they had the person walk away, free money, and everyone was taking it. Isn't that interesting? That when someone is offering us free money, we think there's a catch. When someone is offering us something, it seems too good to be true. And that's what happens literally in our brain. And that's sometimes what happens with a program like this, is people sit here and think, oh, that sounds really good, but what's the catch? Or this seems to be too good to be true, or I must not be able to be good at this, or if this is real legit, how come everybody wouldn't be doing it? Okay? So here's the time money curve. In the first year, you might put in 90% of the time and only make 10% of the money. Now that 10% might be $100,000, I don't know. But you feel like you're putting in a lot more effort than you're getting returned. For the most part, how many of you guys that are in this business would agree? Feel like, okay, I'm working, where's the dough? Year 2, it switches a little bit, 75, 25, 50, 50, and you can see that by year 5, you're putting in 10% of the time and 90% of the money. Okay? It is a drip, then a flow, then a flood. That's how your money comes in our business. The problem is, most people quit before they ever get to the flood. They give up. They get off the roller coaster. They're done. I'm not good at this. I don't know enough people. I've talked to all my friends. This product must not work anymore. Nobody's interested in this. It's saturated. Really? Okay? So you want to make sure that you get, well, I talked about this last night, and Bill said it was good, so I'm going to say it again. It's like a roller coaster, right? You're standing at the ticket booth, and you're making a decision to put your ticket in and get on this ride. Know it going in, it is a roller coaster. There's going to be times when you're so high, you're like, I love this business, I can't believe this is my life, I'm making so much money, I'm going to the casino. And then, and then you're going to have a lull. The person who you thought for sure was going to be your next rock star, all of a sudden she drops off the face of the earth, and the other one starts selling something else. And you feel like, I hate this. I can't believe I'm doing this. My friends were right. I knew I shouldn't have started this. I'm no good. And then you keep going, and you've got another high. Like, woo, this is awesome. Somebody signed up that you never thought would, and they went out and got a new brand partner already. And you do this, right? But what happens if you jump off the roller coaster in the middle of the ride? It's fatal. It's fatal. And it's fatal for your business when you jump off in the middle of the ride. But the good news is that's the only way to die in this business, is to jump off, is to quit. If you stay on the roller coaster, I promise you that at the end of that ride, you're going to look back and you won't even recognize your life. And you'll want to go again. But that's the beauty of this business, is it's a lot, the highs are really high and the lows can be low, but guess what? There's always another high coming. The ride's not over, babe. Okay? But what happens is people jump off. And so if you can commit to yourself to stay the course, you're going to be just fine. You're always going to get to that 10%, 90%. There's no way not to. Just remember that it's a drip, then it's a flow, and then you got the flood. It's interesting too. This is actually a time money curve of a real brand partner in the beginning, and you can see that this is just the monthly check, the 15th paycheck. The first month it was $222. Now, and then it was $10,700. Now, my first month, I told you guys I signed up a bunch of people my first day, right? So I was doing pretty good. We did $22,000 in volume my first month. So I was like, oh, this is pretty good. So I'm kind of calculated doing the math, and I, for some reason, thought my monthly check was going to be like $2,000. So when I got it, it was $267. I was like, what the H? So I called Anna Woodward, and I was like, hey, I think there's a mistake with my check. It was only $267, and I kind of did the math, and she started laughing. She goes, oh my gosh, you sound just like me. When I first started, my check was only $189, and I called Mark Smith. And I was like, hey dude, what's up? This is only $189, and I thought for sure, I'd had a pretty good month. I promoted to executive director, whatever. And he started laughing. He goes, when I first started, my first check was $700, and I called Jeff Olson. He goes, yeah, I just left a 7-figure job, and I was like, this doesn't, $700 is not going to pay the bills, right? So he's laughing, and she said, but just keep in mind that that's your first check, and it takes a little while for that to ramp up. You're living on your weekly checks. If you have a strong business, those weekly checks are good, which they were. But what I needed to remember is that this is just the residual. It takes a while to ramp up. So it goes from $222 to $10,000 in a year. Not bad, right? If you knew it was going to be $10,000, would you suck it up for the first couple months? Sure. My first check was 200 something, then it was 800 something, then it was 1600 something, then it was 3200, and so on. So that's the truth. That works. Okay. So when we get started, we want to do a fast start game plan with you. And hopefully most of you in this room have already done one. Maybe this will help you learn how to teach one. So what a fast start game plan is, it's just a rhythm. It's just to show the new brand partners, okay, now that you got your kit, or maybe you just signed up and haven't got your kit yet, what do you need to do? It's really important to engage right away, because we're all dressed up with nowhere to go, right? And our excitement changes. The person who you signed up on Friday night that was super excited, she couldn't wait to get out of there and be a brand partner. She gave you her credit card, you signed her up on your iPad. This is what happened to her. She got in her car and she called her best friend. And her best friend, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you have to do this with me. We're going to go to Cancun together next year. We're going to be rich. We're going to go shopping. This is awesome. And her best friend said, you're stupid. I can't believe you got sucked into that pyramid scheme. Didn't you learn anything last time when you have that garage full of cookware? And then she feels a little bit deflated. Then she goes home and she tells her husband, guess what, honey? I found a new plan for our retirement. Don't worry about a thing. We're celebrating. Where's the champagne? She's popping bottles in the kitchen, right? And her husband's like, no, I disapprove. I want you to send your kid back. There's no way we're doing this. And then she's even more deflated. And then what happens is by the time you talk to her on Monday, you're like, hey, okay, we're ready to get started. This is awesome. Let's do this. And she's like, you know what? I just don't think this is for me. Has that happened to any of us? Yeah. Because in those 48 hours, life changes. Her excitement changes. Maybe the brakes also went out on the car. Maybe something happened to the cat. I don't know. But she's feeling differently than she was when she signed up. So this Fast Start game plan is really important to do it right away. And you want to ask those questions. First of all, what's important to you in your life right now? What keeps you up at night? And how do you see Nerium fitting into that? How do you see Nerium supporting that? It's really important that you know that because you might not know. I'm going to give you a quick example. I'm building a condo right now, and I went to pick out all my interior stuff, like flooring, tile, things. And this really nice gal named Dory helped me. And she was super nice. And I remember when I left, I even told her, I was like, oh, she was so nice. You know, she seemed really cool. So I wanted to give her some product. So this is the way I prospect, too, if you're paying attention. And so I didn't say anything to her really about Nerium at all while we were doing business. And then I sent her an email, and I was like, hey, I don't know if you've ever heard of Nerium. It's that one-step anti-aging treatment everybody's buzzing about. If I could give you a couple bottles, would you use it and give your feedback? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. So I brought her bottles to her work. I drove 45 minutes to her office to drop her off the bottle. I gave her the whole set, the 3 pieces, because guess who gets it for free? We do. And she was like, wow, thank you. She thought this was such a great gift. Thank you, okay. And so then I'm kind of following up with her, and I'm getting kind of mixed vibes from her. She's like, yeah, I like it. But she didn't say, oh my gosh, I love it. And I don't know, it was just a little, I didn't really get the vibe from her. Well then, so I was kind of letting it go and keeping in contact with her and also dealing with her with my tile and stuff. And I couldn't get a hold of her, so I emailed her and I said, can you call me? I can't reach you. I had a question. She said, yeah. And then she goes, hey, listen, the reason you can't get a hold of me is because my phone's turned off. I was like, oh. Cell phone's turned off. Okay. And then she said, she made a comment. She goes, yeah, I should just work with you because I need to make more money. And I was like seriously, I should have talked to her about it, before. Well, what I found out was they raised the rent where she was living. She's living in a motel by herself, and her daughter is staying with someone up at where their school district was. And if she doesn't reunite with her daughter by August, the ex-husband's going to take custody. So do you think she has a why? Do you think she has a reason to do this? For sure. She has something in it for her that matters to her more than selling skin cream and getting rid of wrinkles. That's the gift that we have. Do you know that it's like my personal mission to get her back with her daughter this month? I mean, right? And to get her cell phone turned back on because that's annoying when they can't get a hold of her. You can only talk to her 8 through 5 via email. But you know what I'm saying? That's the gift that we have for people. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. I had no idea she was struggling. She was dressed cute. She was happy. I thought everything was going fine. It seems like she has a good job. So you never know. So you have to have a why for yourself and understand that you're going to be helping people with their whys, but you can't help them if you don't really know what's going on, right? So ask those questions. What's important to you in your life right now? How do you see Nerium helping you with that? And the third question is, how would you like to be supported when you get discouraged? Because they're going to get discouraged, right? Someone's going to take their bottle and go across country and never hear from them again. Someone's going to sign up with someone else when they thought for sure they were to sign with them. They're going to get discouraged, so you need to know how can you support them in that. Some people, you need to take them out to coffee, you rub their back, tell them how great they are, pat their head. Some people, you just need to say, listen, knock it off. Get back out there, right? It's important for you to love what you do, but it's even more important for you to be passionate about why you do it. Because sometimes the what we do sucks. It's true. Sometimes the what sucks. Maybe you don't like talking on the phone. Maybe you don't love, prospecting strangers. Maybe you don't like driving around delivering bottles. Maybe you don't like getting on corporate calls. Whatever it is. Maybe you don't like coming to regional in the morning. That's where you say, no, I love it. Okay. But you got to be passionate about why you do it. You got to be passionate about who you do it for. And you got to be excited about how you do it. Because even somebody that you might think has a really glamorous life like Oprah or Paul McCartney, I don't know. Do you think that what you see on stage is a fraction of what they do? Right? It's a fraction of what they do. The rest of it is legal meetings, hair and makeup, traveling late at night, tour buses, whatever. It's not very glamorous. But they're passionate about how they're doing it, who they're doing it for. The what, maybe not so much. But the end result is how we get to affect everybody else. Does that make sense? So when you're talking about the business with people, incidentally, you want to lead with why you do it, not how we do it. You know, it's not as powerful to go out to someone and say, all we do is share products and it's so amazing and everybody takes a before and after picture and we get it back and they love it and we sell it, we make money, we go here, we go there. You really got to, what if you said to somebody, the reason why I do this business is because I really wanted my kid to be a car kid, not a bus kid. And this is allowing you the opportunity to be able to be there and take him to school and pick him up. That's going to resonate with someone. Or the reason why I do this is because I have dreams with my husband that we're going to retire him 10 years early so we can spend time together traveling like we've always wanted to. Or we're going on a world tour of all the baseball stadiums together. Somebody was doing that. I saw met him on the bus. Okay? So lead with why you do it, not how you do it, how we do it. What if I said to you right now, okay, everybody, I'm passing out $5,000 checks. How many of you guys would know immediately what you would do with that $5,000? Right? That's really what we're doing. Name the money. It doesn't have to be 5,000. It might be 500. It might be 5 million. I don't know. But most of us, if we had the money, we know what we would do with it. Well, don't you think that your friends and family feel the same? I've never had anybody really say, I have so much money that I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. Keep it. Right? So you got to tie yourself to that. What's burning for you right now? It might be something as easy. I would pay my rent. I would fix my car. I would turn my cell phone on. You never know what's happening. So when money's not an issue, what do you dream about? It's so twisted because in corporate America, they don't ask you those things. When you get hired on at Chick-fil-A, they don't ever say, hey, sit down. Tell me what you dream about. Let's see if we can get you something out of all this chicken. Seriously, when was the last time somebody legitimately said, how can I help you with your dreams? Here's what I want you to do. This is a little experiment. I want you to think of your best friend in the whole world. The best person who knows you the best, that you have the most fun with, whatever. Your best friend in the whole world. Might be your spouse, might be your friend from high school, whatever. Take them to coffee. Take them to coffee, listen to all their saga about whatever they got going on. And then, when it's your turn to talk, I want you to look them dead in the eye and say, when was the last time you spent time thinking about how you could help my dreams come true? Now, this is your best friend. Your best friend. The person who loves you and knows you. They're not even thinking about how they can help your dreams come true? You guys are laughing, but isn't that what we do? When we give someone the gift of Nerium, aren't we thinking about how can we help your dreams come true? That's our culture. That's what we're creating. And you guys should be clapping for that, because that's pretty awesome. Okay. So we set a goal for you to rank advance right away. The reason why we want you to rank advance is because that's when you feel most vested. When you're starting to get paid and you've got people on your team that are working with you, you feel a little bit more vested in what you're doing, right? And you're more likely to stick around. You're more likely to, once you're getting up on that roller coaster, you're more likely to feel like, hey, this is kind of fun. Versus if you're at the flat part, you never get going, right? So our goal would be to help you find your 3 brand partners as soon as possible. Hopefully within the first 30 days, even better if you can do it in the first couple weeks. 3 people who are going to live better alongside you. So my tip for that is as you're making your lead list of all the people you want to expose to Nerium, and incidentally, don't prejudge anyone, right? You never know. You never know who's going to say yes, who's going to say no. Some of you guys, I might have told you the story, in my last company, there was a contest to be the first person to sign up a brand partner in a state where there were no brand partners. Does that make sense? So there's a big map. And if you were the first person to sign someone in Kansas, your name would go on the map at the home office on Kansas. Well, I like recognition, so I found out I need to sign somebody in another state. Well, the problem is I've lived in Washington my whole life. And I hadn't done any direct marketing before, so I didn't have a network of people across the country, so I didn't know anyone in the other states. But my husband knew somebody in North Carolina, right? So I thought, oh, perfect. I'll just message her, his wife. And I never met her before. I got her email address, and I sent her an email, and I said, hey, her name is Donna, and I was like, hey, Donna, you don't know me. I'm Brian's wife, and I'd like to sell skincare. I'd like to send you some products to try. Hope you'd like it. Now, I was really scared to send it to her because her husband was a NASCAR driver. And I thought for sure she will not want to do this. She's got a lot of money, she's busy, she's traveling. There's no way she's going to want to do my business, but maybe she'll know somebody who does. That was my plan. So I already knew in my mind she wasn't going to call me back. So I wrote in my planner for 2 weeks later to follow up with her. And it was less than 2 weeks. It was like 10 days later, my phone rings, and it was her. And she lives in North Carolina, but she's from Tennessee. So I pick up the phone, and I get this, hey girl, it's Donna Little, And I'm like, hey, Donna, she's like, girl, I'm just walking up from my driveway, and I got your package, and I gotta say, I love me some spa products, girl. She's like, it's so funny. She goes, if it would be anything else, I wouldn't be interested, but girl. Just last night, Chad looked over at me and he said, Donna, what are you going to do to help make some money? Now, what I didn't know was that Chad had just lost his ride. He used to drive the John Deere car for the Cup Series, and he lost his ride. Donna hadn't worked since they met when she was a bud girl, and she's had 3 kids, so it's not happening anymore, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she stopped at 2. No. So she didn't know what to do. She's like, I have no skills. I haven't been in the workforce in 20 years. What am I going to do? And I ended up going to her house, doing the presentation. She had I was totally mortified. There was all these famous NASCAR wives on the guest list and everything. And she's like, they're only coming because they want to see my house. I don't care. We're going to show them some eye cream too. So they all came, and she signed up to be a brand partner. She had a whole bunch of people ready to do parties with her. She had a whole bunch of people ready to sign up with her. She was the first supervisor, which would be like NMD, on the East Coast for our company. It was awesome. But I totally prejudged her. Thought she wouldn't want to do it because I didn't know what was going on behind closed doors. So when you make your list, don't prejudge anyone. If their name comes to your mind, write it down. Don't say they don't have the money, they don't know the people, they're already using something, they would never. No, write it down because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and you don't get to decide who gets this opportunity and who doesn't. Okay, so write everybody down. And then what I want you to do is highlight the top 10, your dream team. If you could handpick your 10 people, your first 10 people, who would they be? And each person might have a different reason why they're on your dream team. And then you're going to call them right away and give them that really short little blurb like, hey, listen, I'm super stoked right now, and I keep thinking of you. I have no reason to believe you're looking for something new, but if you trust me enough to give me 30 minutes, I really want you to hear what I'm so excited about. Can I get you on a call? You don't even have to tell them much about what it is. You don't have to send them a bunch of videos and products. You're just going to say, listen, I'm stoked. I thought of you. Give me a minute. I want you to hear what this is all about. If you're not into it, cool, but I'm giving you first right of refusal as I'm building my dream team. The right people will get on the call. And then you ask your upline NMD to help you do a little opportunity call right away. We call that 10 in play, and that's my tip. That's what I did. You guys heard in my last presentation. I think it's so important if you're trying to get 3 brand partners right away. Pick the brand partners that you're most excited to work with, and then start working on the rest of your list. When you hit those 3 in the first 30 days, you're going to get a bonus. You're going to get a $100 bonus for fast start qualifying, in addition to getting paid for signing those brand partners. The person who sponsors you gets $75, and your upline senior director gets $75. Now, why do they get paid when you get paid? Because they're helping you, right? They're the ones that are helping you with these phone calls. They're helping you organize. They're helping you learn how to get on your website. So they have a vested interest in you, which is the beauty of this business. When you win, they win. And then your real results party. So this is really important too. You want to pick 2 days, because chances are not everybody's going to be able to come to one, right? So I usually tell people to make one on a weeknight and one on a weekend, or one during the day and one during the evening, something like that, so that people that can never come during the day can come during the night, or vice versa. Pick 2 days. Make sure that when you call people to invite, and notice that I said call. I know you want a Facebook invite. I know it's easier, I know it takes less time, but it's also ineffective. How many of you guys get Facebook invites that you don't even look at? Right? Especially if it's from somebody you don't know very well, you're thinking, okay, they must have invited their whole list. Okay? Call people to invite them to, because they got to hear your excitement. Right? They got to be able to ask you a question. They got to know that you really care that they're there personally. So you pick 2 days. You find yourself in a nice quiet place. Don't try to get on the phone and call people when the kids are screaming, the husband's like, lift my steak, and you're like, doing the dog and all of that. You got to make sure that you're in a quiet place where you can be happy, you're excited, there's no background noise, and you can commit to this process of calling these people. Okay? And you're going to be really simple. It's not a long, drawn-out thing. It's like, I'm really excited. No, first of all, when you're inviting someone, your attitude should be like, you're lucky to get an invite. You're like, you're lucky you made the cut, babe. That's got to be your posture. Like, you're inviting them to a party. Like, this is going to be fun, right? I'm going to have wine and cheese, or I'm going to have coffee and crumpets, or whatever. I'm going to have moonshine, right? Do you guys have moonshine here? Okay, all right. Anything east of mountains where I live is moonshine, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so you're going to be excited about this, and you're going to tell them a little bit about what they're going to experience, right? What if one of your friends called you up and said, hey, listen, yeah, I did. I got sucked into that pyramid. So my friend's going to get her iPad if I signed up, so I signed up. And then somebody called me and told me how to book a party. I know it's stupid. But listen, I need a couple butts in the seats. Would you just show up? Seriously, just show up. Like, I'll mow your lawn next week or something. Just come. You don't have to buy anything. It's not like that. Just like come or something, because I really need some people there. And it's on Saturday night. So how many people are going to show up? Maybe somebody that needs their lawn mowed. It's like, fine, I'll show up till I get my lawn mowed. Right? Or the person who you watered their plants last week, they owe you a favor. But what if you were to sit down and be super excited and be like, hey Mary, I'm so excited I got you on the phone. Listen, I'm having a little get-together on Friday. I'm stoked to invite you. I think you're going to love it. I'm just going to do some wine and cheese, nothing major, but I got something really exciting I want to share with you, and it just won't be the same without you. Will you just come and hang out with me for an hour? I'd love to see you. Or, hey, Bob, I'm super excited I got you on the phone. Listen, I'm really excited about something I got going. I want to share it with you. Don't worry, I'm not going to attach myself to your leg and ask you for your social security number. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need to do anything. I just want you to come check it out so I can get your feedback. Or, I really value your opinion. I'm really excited about what I'm doing now. Would you come and just listen to this presentation and have some wine with me and hang out and meet the rest of my friends and give me your feedback about what I got going on? Or, I really respect you because I know that you're in this industry and I'm super excited about Nerium. I'm having a little get-together to unveil it to my friends. Will you come and hang out, have a glass of wine, and give me your feedback? Just something really simple. You don't have to go into the Oleander and EHD and Jeff Olson and Lexus. You don't have to do any of that. Just like really simple. Like, hey, I'm really excited. It won't be the same without you. I want to see you. I'd love to hang out with you. We don't hang out enough. Come over. I got your favorite rosé. Whatever it is. Okay? You can do coffee and dessert, wine and cheese, create your own, whatever. And in your kit, there's a real results party toolkit that kind of tells you how to do everything. The most important part, though, is the inviting personally. You can follow up with text message reminders and all of that, but if you want attendance, you need to invite on the phone. And then also remind them. Because even if they have intentions of coming, people flake. How about you? Ever flaked? Like, oh shoot, was that today? Because somebody didn't call and remind you. Or maybe you didn't think you could come, and then all of a sudden you can because your other plans fell through. So it's important. And also tell them to bring a friend. Bring a friend. Bring the one person that you haven't hung out with that you'd love to have a glass of wine with. Bring a buddy. You don't have to offer them free stuff and cupcakes and skywriting. Just like, hey, bring a friend. Bring a buddy. Who's somebody you want to hang out with? Who do you want to ride over with you? You got a neighbor? Bring a friend. You know? All right. So here's the exposure process, and this is really where you live as a brand partner. is repeat, repeat, repeat. A, B, C, D, repeat. A, B, C, D, repeat. Do not go rogue. Please, don't go rogue. It's you. You've got your contact list. You should have at least 100 or 200 people on your contact list. It's everybody that you can think of that has skin. So that should be a lot of people. Okay? And then it's third-party tools. You are the messenger, not the message, right? Your job is not to sit down at Starbucks with somebody and tell them all about Nerium and everything that we do and who we are. Your job is to let a tool do that. Like I literally cringe in my skin when I hear a new brand partner. They're so excited. They're like, yeah, I'm so excited. I got my bottles out, and I'm sitting down with the spa owner on Monday, and then I'm like, what? Don't sit down with the spa owner. You don't have to do that. You give them a tool, right? So contact list, and then people that are closest to you are going to get invited to your events, which would be your launch party and or your market parties, your regional, your local events. People that aren't close to you, that are good friends of yours, maybe you're going to send them a bottle. People that are acquaintances, people that you know on Facebook or that you've seen from time to time, that kind of stuff. Maybe they're getting videos and magazines, or sending them to a corporate call. But everybody gets a tool. Every time you give out a bottle, give a tool with it, a magazine. I do the same thing every time. I've been doing the same thing for 2.5 years. It's this. It's, hey, call somebody up. Hey, listen, I'm super stoked. I just got involved with this company called Nerium. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's that one-step anti-aging treatment that everybody's buzzing about. Listen, if I could get you a bottle to try for a few days, would you use it for me and give me your feedback? I've never had anybody say no. Nobody says no. Nobody says, I won't give you my opinion. Of course. Yes. Great. Here's the deal. I've got a wait list. Got a lot of people that want this bottle, so if I give it to you today, will you promise to use it for the 5 nights and meet me on Saturday so I can get it back? Okay, you have a deal, and I'm bringing it over right now. You have to treat it like a business when you're giving out your bottle, otherwise it's going to go MIA, right? Otherwise you're not going to get it back. Now, when you first pay for your bottles, you really need those bottles back, but as you start getting them for free, you're not as worried about getting them back, but still, you got to set it up that way for the follow-up, okay? So make sure that you're doing it that way with your third-party tools. And I say, great, here's the bottle, and here's a magazine. Thumb through it. It tells all about how it works and why it works. When I follow up with you on Saturday, I'll ask you what you like best. Or here's a video. I'm going to send it over to you. It's about 10 minutes. Would you watch it and give me your feedback? It talks all about how it works and why it works. So when I pick up the bottle on Saturday, I'm going to ask you what you like best. Okay? So give the tool with it. Or here, I'm going to give you a bottle. You can even use the bottle as leverage. Like, listen, if you meet me at the market party, I'll bring you a bottle. I used to do that all the time. Hey, I've got a wait list. I can either put you on my wait list, or if you want, which is going to be about 2 weeks before I get you a bottle, or if you want one really bad, just meet me at the market party and I'll bring you one. I'll make sure you go to the top of my list. Or, other flip side of that is, yeah, I can if you want to try the product, absolutely. I can put you on my wait list. It's going to be a couple weeks before I get you a bottle. Or you can just sign up and get one. You can be using it for the full 30 days, and if you don't love your results, you get your money back anyway. So you can use the bottle as leverage as well. And then follow up with a 3-way. So when you follow up with someone, you're going to ask them a question. Did you use the Nerium for 5 nights? Yes, I did. What did you like best? And that's all you're going to say. And they're going to tell you, I hated it. I hated it. It stinks. I can't believe you thought I would like this crap. Okay, thanks. Give me my bottle back. Peace out. Okay, and then you're going to go to the next person. Who cares? Who cares? You get no. Okay? Or someone's going to say, you know what? I used it for the 5 nights, and quite honestly, I didn't see a difference. Okay, perfect. It's not a 5-day program. It was a 5-day trial. So, and you need a little more than 5 days. Okay? No. So, great. Do you see yourself using it for the full 30 days? And if for whatever reason you don't love your results, you get your money back. And most people go, yeah, sure, I'll give it a 30-day run. Perfect. Now you can either buy it for 110, which, although as your friend, I hate to do that to you. Why don't you just get it for 80? And if for whatever reason you don't want the next bottle, we'll take care of it then. I'll check in with you and make sure we handle it. Or they're going to say they love it, right? You've had this happen too. People freak out. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I had this wrinkle for like the last 20 years. I went to bed. I woke up, it's gone. And you're like, really? Okay, let's go with that. But they love it, and I can't wait to, buy more of it, sell it, whatever. Those are really the only 3 options: is I didn't like it, I'm not sure about it, or I loved it. That's pretty much it, right? You got to follow up. But if they ask you any questions, Like, what'd you like about what you saw in the magazine? Well, that's cool. Do you have a Lexus? Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I'm pretty new. But my friend Lori earned her Lexus pretty quickly. Let me see if I can grab her on the phone real quick. I want you to hear her story. Or, yeah, I was kind of excited about it, but then I did a Wikipedia search and I found out that the oleander is toxic. So I just don't think I could recommend this to my friends. And you go, oh, you know what? That's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, I kind of felt the same way before I did some research. Hold on 1 second. I want to just grab my friend Sarah on the phone because she has a great way of explaining the toxicity of our product. Or, yeah, I see that you guys are coming out with a brain supplement. What's that about? That's a great question. I'm pretty new at this, and that's a new product. I want to make sure you get the right information. Let me just grab my friend Lori on the phone real quick. We can ask her that together. It doesn't matter what her question is. It doesn't matter if you know the answer or not. You get a third party on the phone. And you make it really casual like that, so it's not a big deal. You're not going to say, hey, listen, I need to put you on hold for a second and call like the bigwig, like the 5-star, because she's the closer, and I need help here. Because I don't really know what to say to you right now to make you give me your credit card, so hold on 1 second. Okay, it's not like that. It's like, oh, that's a great question. Let's ask my friend Lori together. I want to make sure you get the best info. Or, I totally understand where you're coming from. I felt the same way too before I did my due diligence. But hold on 1 second. Let me just see if I can grab my friend who has a great story about that. You see how casual and comfortable that can be? You don't even have to ask. You don't even have to say, is it okay if I bring somebody else on the phone with us right now? She's been doing this forever. She makes a ton of money. And oh my gosh, she closes all my deals for me. No, that's not how we're doing it. That's not what three-way call's for. And then you just keep repeating that process. So what after you do the three-way call, if they're still not making a decision, what do? It starts back over. It's another exposure. It's like, okay, great. Now they need to come to a market party. Or now they need to listen to a different call. Or now they need to read something. But you keep them in that funnel until they say yes or no. And incidentally, no doesn't always mean no forever. No means they go to your no file and you'll revisit them later when something else happens. You might say, okay, great. Sorry, this isn't for you. But is it okay if I keep you posted on all the exciting things that are happening? And most people go, sure. So then maybe when Korea opens, you say, hey, you send them a quick message like, hey, listen, I know, when last we talked, you weren't interested in Nerium, but I just want you to know we're opening Korea. We have a brain supplement coming out. Has anything changed for you? Because statistically, people's circumstances change every 90 days. Did you guys know that? Every 90 days. I said no to Dana for 3 months. And I was putting my house on the market. 3 months before, no. I didn't even know I was interested until I really heard what was going on, right? So hey, guess what? We have a new supplement coming out. I think you totally dig it. Are you open at all to hearing about it? It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out thing, but revisit those no's from time to time. You never know. So I think on your list, it has a place for you to write names and then to check. RRP, product prospecting system, a communication center, etc. So you can kind of categorize. So I really encourage you to highlight those top 10, that 10 in play, and get that going. Okay. Oh, look at me. I'm just blowing through this. We already talked about that. Talk, don't text. Follow up. Yep, said that. Okay. Product prospecting system. Share how we do this. It's sharing pictures. Like how many of you guys have on your iPad, we all do, the before and after photos. Like you can pull those up on your communication center. I don't even know how many times I've been sitting on an airplane and I got this stinking iPad out and I start flipping through the pictures, waiting for the person next to me to notice. Sometimes I have to go 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, seriously, dude? Like, look over here, And then you start kind of, moving your iPad, and then pretty soon you're like, in his space, like. And then they're like, oh, what's that? Oh. These? I was just doing some work on my free trip to Cancun here, right? And then people are going to go, oh, what's that? And you can show those before and after pictures are really powerful, right? Our whole company's built on the before and after pictures. We do that on Facebook, and that's what people go, wow. I think it's much better to post a before and after picture on Facebook than a paragraph about how you just earned an iPad, or a paragraph about how, you get to work with your best friend again. A before and after photo is really powerful with a message that says, who wants a free sample? Or I just got in some free inventory ready to give out to people who want to try it. The first 3 people to message me get a bottle. Even if you have 15 bottles. It's the first 3 people that message you get a bottle. I just got in some new inventory, even if it's been sitting there for 2 weeks. What shame on you. Hopefully it isn't. Okay? So you're going to give them the pictures. You're going to explain to them the sampling process we talked about. You get it for 5 days. I get it back. Some brand partners, especially the new ones, they forget to say I get it back. And then their prospect's like, wait a minute, you didn't say I had to give it back. I passed it off to my neighbor Susie, and she took it to Lucy, you know? Then you're going to give them a brochure or something with it, if that's or a tool of some kind, and then encourage the 3 or free. So there's also people that are going to say, you know what, this is a great product, but I can't afford it. Great. Well, how about free? Does free work for you? Because here's the deal with money, with price. Price is just for a moment, because here's what's going to happen. You're either not going to like it, and you're going to get your money back anyway, or you're going to love it, and you're going to end up getting it for free. Right? I mean, isn't that pretty much what happens? They either get their money back or they're going to start talking to people about it if price is an issue. And you guys have probably heard my story about Rose, my bus driver from kindergarten, Rose. She kept liking all my stuff on Facebook when I was pretty new, you know, liking all my pictures, liking all my Nerium stuff. And I put up a thing, put it before and after, and I said, you know, message me for a free sample. And she messaged me that she wanted a free sample. Well, what I know about Rose is she lives in her van. She has 10, well, they're older now, but she has 10 kids. 10 kids. Like, 2 of them are named Mike. That's how many kids she has. True story. True story. It's like, oh, let's do Mike again. Nobody remembers the first one. Name's still on the wall. Let's just start there. All the hand-me-downs. Mike, Mike, Mike. Good. We're good. Right? So when she says she wants a sample, I'm thinking to myself, shoot, okay. Well, first of all, where am I going to send it? Second of all, she's not going to probably buy it from me on an ADO, but I want her to have a bottle because I like her, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just give her a bottle. She needs it, and then, we'll see, I guess. And then after a couple of weeks, she messaged me, she said she wanted to be a customer. She wanted to be on the ADO. And I was like, once again, Sarah learns the lesson about prejudging, because guess what? If looking in the mirror and being happy with what you see is important to you, you will figure out a way to pay for it. Especially when an option is free. So when someone says, I don't have the money for that, I always come back with, I get it. $80 is probably a lot of money for some skincare. What about free? Can you afford free? I can help you get it for free. I don't lead with that unless they say, I don't even want to try it because, I can't afford it anyway. I go, I get it. Thanks for your honesty, but I still want your testimonial, and maybe you'll give me a great before and after photo. Would you use it for me? Let them off the hook. Because what they're thinking is, I don't have $80 to spend on a product that doesn't work. Because I've been spending $40 on a whole bunch of products that don't work. Right? They're not really expecting the results that they're going to get most of the time. Because they're used to not seeing a difference. So if you can get them to try it anyway, take the price off the table. Just let them try it and tell them you want their testimonial, their honest opinion, their before and after photo. And then if they come back and they like it, well, we can figure out how to get it for free. But don't let $80 stand in the way of someone really changing their confidence. And by the way, if money's really an issue, that might be a reason to take a look at the business, right? Okay. And then if maybe somebody doesn't like the skin cream, maybe they don't like the smell, maybe they don't have any wrinkles, whatever it is, we also can offer them the body contouring cream, right? Same thing. You don't have to sample the body contouring cream, but you can certainly show them some amazing photos and offer them our 30-day money-back guarantee. And then we just master that system. It's piquing interest, it's third-party tools, it's following up again, it's sponsoring. It's piquing interest, it's third-party tools, it's following up again, all of that. That's all we do. Repeat, repeat, repeat. This is how somebody who's not good at sales can do this, because guess what? The third-party tool does all the work. The three-way call does all the work, right? The third-party tool knows all the answers. The third-party call knows all the answers. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to sell anything. You just have to be the liaison. You just have to share it. Right? Okay. If you want to maintain a business, it's 2 a day. In this business, you're either growing or shrinking. There really is no just, you don't hit NMD and then just stay there, never recruiting anybody again. You will start shrinking. So, if you want 2 a day, you're going to maintain with your 2 a days. If you want to grow a business, if you're new and you're sitting here as a brand partner or a senior brand partner and you want to get your director and get your Lexus and all that, so it's more than 2 a day. It's more than 2 a day, unless you wanted to take a year, which may be fine. Maybe all you can do is 2 a day. This isn't the fast track, is what I'm saying. If you want to be on the fast track, ramp it up. And we have our communications, which you guys all know about. If you haven't already, text the word REAL to 59769. You can do it right now. And you're going to get the text updates. When the calls are, the phone numbers, you can literally click it on your iPhone and dial into the call. If you're busy when those calls are live or when Nerium is live, you can always go back and watch it or listen to it later. So don't let that be an excuse like I can't do Mondays at 6. You don't have to do Mondays at 6. You can do any time during the week. But what I have found is the people who do it when it's on, more likely to do it. Because otherwise the week goes by and you never got around to it, right? Yes. I'm going to go to Pilates. I'm going to go to Pilates. It's not till Monday. Can't start till Monday. Right? Okay. And then we have Mondays our Nerium University, we have our corporate update calls, and then we have our webinar Wednesdays. And incidentally, those are central. Oh, you guys are central time, so that's right with your time. Okay. And then our recruiting blitzes are now Sundays, 6 p.m. in your time zone. So if you're in Kansas, you can do it at 6 p.m., but you can also participate in any time zone. It just means that they're at 6 basically for 5 hours or at 6 o'clock in every time zone. And there's your dial-in information. This is also in your success planner, but if you need to write that down, go ahead. That's just an opportunity for you to send prospects to, listen to a call about the business. That's what that is. It's for prospects. So if you have somebody that, maybe there's no regional, maybe there's no market party in your area, maybe it's not for a few days, get your prospect to dial in and listen to this call. Okay. Just a second here. I'm going to see. I haven't done this new presentation yet. We're starter packs. We talked about this just a few minutes ago, but basically it's $249 for the starter pack, and you're going to get 3 bottles. Now remember, that's the starter pack. But what I really want you guys to understand, the difference, and we're all brand partners in here, is that it's meant for people who just want to get their foot in the door. It's not the fast track pack, or it's not the I'm going to get my Lexus in 90 days pack. Now I'm not saying that somebody that comes in at the 250 can't do that. I'm just saying it's more difficult and they're missing out on the Nerium Gives Back. And I want to explain that really quickly. In order to qualify for a Nerium Gives Back, which is our free inventory program, you have to either start with $500 investment, which could be this pack and an upgrade to the first pack. You guys follow me? Or you can get it if you sell $250 extra in your first 30 days. So if you go out and sell bottles that accumulate another $250 in volume, then you can, so you have a total of $500 for the month, or you don't get it until you hit director. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, well, I'll sign up at the $250 and then I'll just sell it. Okay, you can do that, but you're not getting Nerium Gives Back bottles for those bottles that you're selling. So you're missing out on free inventory. You guys get it? And so we need to make sure that we're explaining that to our prospects who say, well, I'll just sign up for $250. They certainly can do that, but they need to understand the importance of getting that additional $250 in the first 30 days, because Nerium Gives Back is a big deal, especially if they only have 3 bottles and now they're not getting any for free. They're going to have to make an investment at some point probably anyway. So we just need to make sure that we're explaining it that way. So the bronze pack would do it, or the silver pack, or the gold. So silver and gold pack are people who want to run. People who want to get those bottles out, start making their money back, and get things going. And remember, it's not like you're throwing $750 out the window. The idea is that they're going to get that back. They're going to go out there and sell bottles, sign up brand partners, and get things moving, so they're reimbursing themselves quickly. So you got to understand that too. It's not like they're never going to see that money again. Now, are there people who sign up and never see that money again? Yes. But it's not because the system doesn't work, it's because they didn't work, and they're in charge of that, and then they got to own that. Okay? All you can do is lay it out so they can play it out, right? The buzz, I got the buzz. Okay, I live in movie quotes, and so, anyway. Okay, so roadmap flex. Incidentally, I don't know, I'm going to talk about no's here really quick. I had a brand partner, frustrated, that texted me. She's like, oh, I got 2 no's today, I'm starting to get discouraged. And my response was, great, get to 5 no's tomorrow. You've got to get in the mindset, you're going to hear way more no's than you're going to hear yeses. Right? Way more no's. If everybody said yes, it wouldn't be as much of an opportunity, quite honestly. So be excited about those no's, because A, that means you're having a legitimate conversation about your business with someone. That's good. You're doing 10-4. But when not everybody's going to say no. The deal is you never know where the yes is. Right? We can't prejudge. You can't judge potential. You never know what's going on behind doors. You never know what people are going to spend their money on. You never know what people are in need of. So your job is to offer. And you're not asking for a favor. Now think about the difference here. We ask for things, and the other person is in control. You ask for permission. You ask for a favor. You ask for help. Right? What do we offer? We offer things that we value to people we value. We offer you a piece of pizza when you come over to our house and the pizza's sitting there. If you don't want the pizza, are we devastated? Are we like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I offered her that pizza? She probably hates me now. No. We offer because we're like, I like the pizza. You probably like the pizza. You want some pizza? You don't want any pizza. I don't care. More pizza for me. Right? You offer a stick of gum. You offer help. You offer advice. You offer a way out. Whatever it is. So think about that. When you're out there talking to your friends and family, you're not asking them for a favor. This isn't about you. It's about them. Right? It's about what you can do for them, how you can help them fulfill their dreams. You're offering it. So feel good about offering it. Don't be shy about it. The reason we get shy is when the arrows are in. It's like, oh, if I can get her to sign up, I'm going to get an iPad. You know? If I can sucker her into this, and I'm getting myself a Lexus. No. It really is a great opportunity. If you don't believe that, we've got problems, first of all. We got to go way back to the beginning if you don't believe this is a good opportunity, right? If you don't believe with every fiber of your being that if they use the product, they're going to like it, chances are, and they're going to be glad you offered it to them. Or you don't believe with every fiber of your being that if someone comes into this company and does what you tell them to do, that they can be successful. You got to believe that, right? And if you do, it's your job as a human being on this planet to spread that around, right? You got the golden ticket, act like it, right? If you knew you had 10 lottery tickets that were all winners, who would you give them to? Would you throw them under your mattress because you were too embarrassed to give them out? Would you keep them all for yourself? Or would you start handing them out to people who need them? It's the same kind of thing that we have here, and I think sometimes we get twisted on that. And I want to just read you guys something because one of the things that we do is self-development, and 10 pages, and I got to tell you guys, I hate reading. New Year's Eve, when she wrote a book, she hates reading. I do, I hate reading. I don't read anything, except for Us Magazine. Okay. Because I got to get my news. Anyway. So this has been out of my comfort zone, and it's been a challenge for me to read, because I don't like it. So I'm thinking, okay, 10 pages, I can do 10 pages, right? I mean, it's not like I got to sit down for 3 hours and read a book. 10 pages, I got it, I can do it. So I've got to the point now where I have a book that I'm reading, and I'm also listening to an audio in my car, which I've never done because I like me some Hair Nation, okay? So I don't like to waste my time listening to books when I could be listening to Twisted Sister. So anyway, I'm an 80s girl. So anyway, in the book I'm reading now, it's called 3 Feet from Gold. Have any of you guys read this? Anybody? This is an awesome book. It's by the Napoleon Hill Foundation. It's called 3 Feet from Gold. Anyway, I was reading this and I thought, I'm going to share this with you guys because it's talking about no. And what he's doing is he's interviewing all these successful people and he's asking if they're one bit of advice. And this one gentleman who he was talking to, who was he's the chair and CEO of IGA, and the world's biggest supermarket. They do $21 billion a year. So yeah, this is what he said. He said, "Are you prepared for no?" And, understand this. Your degree of success in anything you choose is in proportion to how many no's you can sustain, while, of course, staying excited throughout the process. The number of no's you're willing to go through to get to that desired result will dictate whether you succeed or fail. No is the second best answer you can get. At least it lets you know where you stand. It's those pesky maybes that really get in the way. I once heard a fellow say, if you're willing to ask enough ladies out, eventually you'll get a date for the dance. The same applies to pretty much anything you want in life. The key is to focus more on the outcome and less on the detours. Success is the reward for setback. Isn't that true? It's the people, I said it last night, it's the people who are NMDs. I bet if I asked them to tell you right now, they say they've heard way more no's than any of the rest of us in the room. That's why they're NMDs, because they stayed the course and they kept offering. The difference between a director and an NMD is time and more no's. So if you only got 2 no's, go for 5 tomorrow. I used to play a game with myself where I'd pick up the phone and I'd say, okay, I'm gonna call people, I'm gonna prospect until I get 10 no's. And then I'm out of here. So that way when I got the no's, I was like, sweet, I'm almost done. The sun is out. I got things to do. I'm going to the beach. But guess what? In getting those 10 no's, accidentally you get a yes. But you have to think it's all in the way you look at it, because a no isn't paralyzing, and no puts you no worse off than you were before you offered, right? You're not digging your hole of no's. Are you guys with me? So it's important. You might get that. You're in this room. You're in this business, but the people that you're prospecting, maybe they don't get that. And so it's your job to kind of let them know ahead of time, like, listen, here's the deal. Not everybody's going to say yes, but when they do, it's going to be awesome, and you're going to be able to help some people. If they don't, who cares? It's okay. Right?
Can we ask questions?
No. But you can at the end if we have time. Yeah, just write it down. See? No. See how good I am with that? Yeah, see? She's not devastated. She's like, okay. All right, so then you're going senior brand partner. You guys know this. You're earning your fast track bonus. You start earning 10% check match. And we know that people that hit this statistically are going to sell 10 times more product and recruit 7 times more people than those who don't hit this. That's why we want you to do it right away, because we know that you're going to be grounded in this. And once you hit senior brand partner, if you can do it, you can teach other people how to do it, right? I can find 3 people. It might take me 30 people to go through to find the 3, but I can find 3. Okay, and then director it could be the same 3 people, but your group volume is 4,500, or you might have to add some new people to that to get to the 4,500. But your structure has to be 3 personally sponsored brand partners, and your group volume has to be 45. Whether that's a combination of more brand partners or bottles out or whatever. Okay, and then you're going to get paid again. If you do it in your first 60 days, you're going to get an iPad, you get increased differentials, and you get more money for your residual. So all more reasons to go. And then senior director, same thing. You have your 3, and they each have 3. That's the structure you need. They don't have to get their iPad. This is just a photo of it. But you have your 3, and each of those 3 have 3 personally sponsored brand partners. Okay, that's what the structure needs to be, and your group volume needs to be 12,500. Now, it's a really low requirement for the industry, because Nerium knows once you start rolling around in your free Lexus, your friends are going to take you a little more seriously. They're going to be a little bit more interested in what you're doing, right? And this is a true story. And those of you who have Lexuses, I know you know this is true. The day that you put a photo up of you and your new Lexus, all of a sudden your phone starts ringing, right? I earned